Saddle hunting has been around for nearly 30 years. I think guys like John Eberhard have been doing it since the mid 80s. I got introduced to it actually by John in the early 90s, and the thing that was the staple for saddle hunting was the Anderson tree sling. And several people who jumped on the saddle hunting mobile hunter craze back in the 90s, everybody had this Anderson tree sling. But the nature of a saddle hunter has always been to try and make something better than the initial application. So the initial start to the sling was that you had an attached bridge and tether that you basically just wrapped around a tree and hooked it into itself, and that was basically how you hung from the tree. Well, it wasn't very adjustable. It was a set length, so you couldn't adjust it up or down, so you constantly had to tinker with it. And I always figured there had to be a better way. And now with saddle hunting making a resurgence today in 2020, 19, they've came up with better options. And today we're going to talk about a great option to get rid of this and come up with this for your bridge. Let's jump into it. So I've hunted out of this old Anderson tree sling since the mid 90s, and it's always treated me well. But there was that one issue of always having the set bridge and the set tether on there. And a company called H2, right here out of Michigan where I live, came up with what they call the H2 Triad Bridge, which is a bridge that you can install in nearly every saddle out there. That has the loops, or in this case with the Anderson tree sling, it has the heavy-duty rubber-coated rings. So basically I decided that I was going to give the bridge, Triad Bridge, a try. So I ordered it and installed it. This is just a Prusik knot to take it around the rings, and then to install it you use what they call a Swabish hitch to attach the actual bridge to the loops for the Prusik knot. So I did that. It's turned this saddle into an unbelievable tool again for me. I have the cruiser saddle, but once I put this Triad Bridge on here, it made what was once old very, very new again and very mobile. This sucker is extremely light. It is extremely packable. And I know a lot of guys might be interested and have one of these old Anderson tree slings laying around. This H2 Triad Bridge, this thing is going to make that sling very, very adjustable and very usable again. So we can take a closer look at it, and I'll show you some of the mods that I've made to this tree sling. So basically what we did was we cut out the old bridge and tether that was just basically attached right around here, and I took and I installed the H2 loops, which is Amsteel, blue Amsteel. This is basically just a Prusik knot, and obviously with the newer saddles you have a big loop that's adjustable. With this old Anderson tree sling, this isn't adjustable, but I found that it doesn't necessarily need to be adjustable to work, and in this case it works out great. So from there you install what they call a Swabish hitch, and I will leave a link to how to install this this particular Triad Bridge to your old existing saddle. This sling, this works out great. Like I said, it's super light, and this works out fantastic for taking this old saddle and bringing it into the new age of saddle hunting. One of the other mods that I did to this old Anderson tree sling is these don't have molly loops, so I went ahead and I had actual molly loops. I just bought the strapping that you see here at a military surplus store. You could probably buy them at Hobby Lobby, and then I had them stitched in to the specific size to fit the pouches that I currently use. So this is just a great addition to this old relic of a sling, to make this very, very usable and very, very practical for someone who's very mobile and a minimalistic type set. So basically putting on the old Anderson tree sling, you just slide it on, cinch up your strap. I usually like to tie it and hold it down, and now it's nice and snug to your butt. I keep my molly loops up towards the top and then the other part towards the bottom. Like I said, here's your bridge right here, your new bridge, and the new tree tether. This is the Oplux rope with the Kong duck carrier, and then the carabiner, the quick rotating carabiner. So let's just jump up into it. Put the rope around the tree. Loosen everything up. Take the new H2 Triad Bridge and get it into place, and just like so, the Anderson tree sling, tried and true. And now you have all the adjustability that you want right here in this bridge. You don't have the big clunky strap comes around. You basically taken old era and brought in a modern era and gelled the two together, and this is what you come up with. This is hard to beat. There's several companies out right now that are mimicking the old Anderson tree sling. I think they've come up with some great ideas. But if you were not looking to spend the money on buying a brand new saddle, which I think they're in the neighborhood of somewhere in the $200 to $300 range. If you got an old Anderson tree sling around, this H2 Triad Bridge, I think they're less than, I want to say probably less than $40. I'll leave a link to H2 saddles in the description so you guys can take a look at them. Also, there's instructional videos on how to install these, and I will leave links to those in the description as well. But as you can see, guys, this Anderson tree sling is still very, very usable, very, very comfortable. A lot of guys like them. The nice thing about them is you've got two straps here that are very adjustable. You can adjust it down, you can adjust it up, you can, you know, adjust them up to high on your back for back support. And there's really no doubt in my mind that this is still a real viable option for saddle hunting. I know a lot of guys that are old school saddle hunters that still use this and probably will never buy into the new saddles, just because if it's not broke, don't fix it. But in this case, we had something that was not necessarily broke, but there was a better way, and putting this new Amsteel Triad Bridge on by H2 is made this an absolutely great mobile saddle hunting setup. The nice thing about the H2 Triad Bridge is it's very versatile. Like I said, you can use this on any old saddle. What we've done here is we've taken an old Trophyline saddle, and I helped a buddy of mine customize this. Trophyline's been around very, very early in the game. This saddle is probably I want to say in the neighborhood of at least 20 years old, and the one thing that we found about it was the strap that is used as a bridge is very wide, it's very bulky, it's very awkward, and it doesn't rotate through a carabiner very well at all. So what we did was we ordered the Triad Bridge and installed it. We did have to do some stitching to the area where the bridge is going to go around. So basically we took it to a place that could stitch up heavy-duty strapping and basically just reinforce this to where this is really going to hold, and it's going to be stable and steady, and there's not going to be any issues at all. He hasn't quite yet decided. He's still trying to work out the comfort level of cutting off his bridge and going with the H2 Triad Bridge, but I know we're very close to it, and probably not too long here in the near future, this old bridge is just going to get cut off, and we'll have the Triad Bridge installed into this old relic of a saddle. So here's a close-up view of where we installed the Triad Bridge. Basically, what we did was we took this to a saddle shop. You know, it's just somebody who has a heavy-duty sewing machine, and basically reinforce this entire strap that would go around where the prusik knot seats in for the saddle. So this is super, super solid. This is heavy duty webbing, and this goes all the way through. I think they did a great job on it. This is rock solid, so this this bridge is not going to be coming free. Like I said, with the Anderson, you don't have the adjustability that you do on the newer saddles, but this is still a really, really nice option. And like I said, you can take an old saddle that has the old strap bridge and install this new Amsteel bridge, and it turns this saddle into takes it to a whole nother level of what they once were when they were first initially built. One of the things you can see obviously is the old bridge of the old Trophyline saddles, and I do believe that maybe even the new Trophyline still use this strap, but it would be nice if they went to something that's a little bit more lighter and something that's a little bit more fluid in a carabiner. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But anyway, you can obviously see that the Amsteel bridge is way thinner than the original bridge that this Trophyline has on it. So this is just another, it takes away weight obviously, and then this Amsteel bridge slides through that carabiner like butter, and we'll show that to you here in just a second. So what you can see initially is this is the old existing bridge from Trophyline. It's wide. Granted, this bridge works fine. This bridge has held up for years. It's very, very durable. But the one thing that is not is it doesn't allow you to twist so easy. See right away that it takes a lot of effort to get this strap to roll through that carabiner. And that becomes an issue. Granted, this saddle is super comfortable, but when you can't get yourself rotated around behind you to say shoot a deer, it takes you out of a good shooting position, and that creates problems. So we knew there had to be a better way. With the new Amsteel bridge, you can see right here that this pulls from the same direction that the original bridge pulls from as well. So that's not going to be an issue. You're not going to get any sort of hip pinch or any sort of something that's uncomfortable. So this is a great this is a great option. Like I said, we stitched this up, so this is super, super strong in here. And I'll take this and I'll switch it over to the Amsteel bridge, and you'll see right away the difference in being able to be more mobile in this. So we'll unhook it. We'll put in the new Amsteel H2 Triad Bridge, and immediately you can see how you can rotate, and that bridge slides right through. It's essentially the same, almost the same length. The one thing about the H2 bridge is it's very adjustable, so you can adjust this to the same exact length as this bridge here. So if you're a guy that's kind of set in your ways as far as your bridge length, you can adjust this. Basically, you just loosen it and pull it through, and there you go. And now your bridge is shortened up to essentially the same length. But I mean you can see it. Look how much more mobile you are and how much more adjustability you have in this old saddle with this new Amsteel bridge. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As you can see, we've taken some of these older the Anderson tree sling and the old Trophyline saddle, and we've kind of brought them up to speed in 2020 by installing this Amsteel Triad Bridge by H2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have an old sling like this or an old saddle laying around, don't get rid of them. They still have a lot of life in them. These things are the basically the OGs of the saddle world, and by installing these new bridges on there, you can make these things work just as deadly and become just as great as some of the newer saddles that are on the market today. So like I said, I'll leave a link to H2 in this Triad Bridge. I'll leave a link to Trophyline. There is a company out called Latitude Outdoors that is coming up with something that is very, very similar to the old Anderson tree sling. There's also a company out there called Tree Hopper that has what their version of the old Anderson tree sling. So you guys can buy those, and I can leave links to those as well. But in conclusion, guys, if you like this video, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you have any questions in regards to any of the videos that I do, please feel free to reach out to me. you can reach out to me on my social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, or leave a comment on the video. So be safe out there this year, guys. Shoot straight. Thanks, and I appreciate y'all watching.